And once again, here's our referee in charge, Jorge Alonso.
Tony. All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules yesterday. We went over the rules earlier today. Okay? Let me remind you, you know the rules of boxing. I'm here to make sure you carry out those rules properly, okay? This is 12 rounds of the NABF Heavyweight Championship. You have any questions on this corner? You have any questions? Remember, obey my commands, and when I say break, step back, no punching. Good luck. Touch gloves, gentlemen. Back to you corners.
First of all, both the soft-spoken Ruiz and the low-key Tucker told us they've never seen the other man fight in person or on tape. Ruiz says he's simply not a boxing fan. Tucker told us he has no idea what Ruiz's assets are. They'll rely on their trainers for that info. And I asked Tucker point blank, why do you still fight? He said, because I still have it. We'll see. Here we go, round one, scheduled for 12. NABF Heavyweight Championship, and Ruiz said he would come out fast. His trainer, Gabe Murray, working on him, accelerating the process.
Well, he came right to the body on Tucker, which looks like a good move. You got a bigger, taller man. You want to work down the body, then come up top. But Ruiz does not have a reputation as a big puncher, so this could be a mistake if he's not careful.
Well, he's certainly working the body for everything he's got. You know, given Tucker's exhausting capacities, he exhausts himself early. Oh, there he goes.
Tucker stumbles to the canvas. Jorge Alonso.
That's a knockdown, Steve, because he grabbed the ropes and held him up.
It is.
Exactly. So that's starting to pay off already. Those are thundering body shots by Ruiz. Ruiz says he's going to start early, and he certainly has.
He ended his last fight in 22 seconds, did Ruiz, and he's trying to end this one early as well. That knockdown came 33 seconds in.
He hit Tucker just now, a straight right hand and a good left hook. He's getting that Tucker, he's taking it to him right down the middle.
Well, Tucker better get something off. He's fighting in his usual slow manner, and that's not going to do against this kid. This kid's like a road runner here. He is working hard as Ruiz.
He's stuffing the jab to the body. He's getting Tucker to bring his hands down, and he's firing the right hand over the top, Steve. And Ferdy, it's an excellent idea, good strategy, as long as he doesn't get caught coming in.
I can't remember seeing a heavyweight start a first round with that many thumping body jabs. I don't remember a heavyweight going to the body with that kind of jabbing power.
He has 10 knockouts, his last 11 wins, 16 of his 22 knockouts in 2 rounds or less, 11 in the first round. John Ruiz.
Ruiz is an interesting character, since he really doesn't watch boxing at all. He likes football. He's a tight end in high school, and he doesn't watch that much boxing. Well, he certainly looks like he knows what he's doing in the ring right now.
It clearly looks like Ruiz worked on his power, because he seems to be punching harder than he has in the past. Certainly he's heavier coming in 233 as opposed to in the 220s, low 220s. He's put on a little weight. He's added a little bulk to the system.
Well, tactically, Tucker said he intends to step up the aggressiveness. He had better.
You hold it, Tony.
You know, but he always says that. He just never carries it through. He promises action. It's as if his body won't carry out his promises. He never comes on in an aggressive style in all the years that we have been watching Tucker.
He just threw a real nice counter right hand over Ruiz's jab. Seemed to get Ruiz's attention a little bit, and there he threw it again. Ruiz coming back with beautiful combinations, left and right.
A barrage by Ruiz. And Tucker just looking to hang on in the final 20 seconds.
And most of those landed, so Tucker is in front of a windmill here.
This is a pace, gentlemen, that heavyweights at this weight cannot keep for 12 rounds.
Ruiz extremely focused, working the jab, and there's a straight right, and down goes Tucker again for the second time in the round. There's no 3 knockdown rule, but there's the bell anyway. They're still counting because you can't be saved by the bell in any round.
You got to get this guy angle. All right. You got to use your experience. All right. Stop trying to use the big muscle. All right. How you feel? All right. Boxing. Use your jab. You keep jamming to the body, you see you can hit him with the right hand.
Let's take a look at the first knockdown, which didn't look like a knockdown, but as Bobby pointed out, once you're held up by the ropes, it is a knockdown. His gloves did touch the canvas anyway, Bobby, but you were right.
Yeah, he grabbed the rope and held it. It kept him from actually hitting canvas full. In the second knockdown, you'll see a crisp left hook here, and he just walks right into it, turns it. Ruiz turns a nice left hook in on the inside. Tucker's not paying attention. He moves from the right hand, but there's the hook. Turns right back into it, right on the seat of his pants. Ruiz looking sharp.
Tucker on the canvas for only the 3rd time in his career. For the first time against Lennox Lewis in '93, and then again later in that fight against Lewis.
Rumor had it that Herbie Hyde dropped him in a fight that they had recently where he was stopped in the 2nd round, so he actually may have been on the floor for 3 separate fighters.
39-year-old Tony Tucker down at the 33-second mark of round 1 at the hands of John Ruiz, and again at 255.
And Ruiz not stopping with a body. He's still laboring mightily down there to bring the guard down of Tucker, which he's doing, and then he's landing these shots. Not only 1 and 2, Bobby, but good 3-4 punch combinations. Oh, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to get wild like that.
You know what, take a look at him. He's a younger fighter by a lot of years. He's going to press the old man, as we say in the gym. He's going to press him and see what he has and make it tough from Jump Street, right from the very beginning.
I'm sure right now Ruiz over anxious to try to end this thing here in the 2nd round.
Well, a lot is riding on this fight. If Ruiz looks this good, then he's right in the competition to fight the Tysons and the Moores and even Lennox Lewis. And I mean, you know, hey, a good win here, and you're right up there in the tall cotton.
He's a former stablemate of the WBC champ, Lennox Lewis, managed by the same man, Frank Maloney. He has sparred with Lewis 30 rounds, and he felt very confident with him.
Well, he's still got to win this. He won that 1st round big time, and now he's got to win this one.
A win here could bolster his stock, even though it is against an ancient fighter in Tony Tucker, midway through the 2nd.
You know, Tony Tucker is a former world champion, and at 6'5" and 230-plus pounds is always somebody to be reckoned with, and a good gauge for the guys that are coming up.
Yeah, remember, these are heavyweights. One punch can change the whole fight, so more than anything in boxing, you just got to keep your eye glued on heavyweights that can end fast.
Tucker contemplated retirement a few years ago after 3 straight losses to Sheldon Akinwande and Orlin Norris. He'd been down some rough roads, in particular a drinking problem, but he said that's all behind him now, that his wife and kids and religion have helped him turn things around and straighten himself out. He's clean and sober, he says. Saved not only his career, but his life.
You know, when John Ruiz rocks out of the way like that, Tucker's got a long range right hand. He's got to rock with his hand just a little bit higher, because if he doesn't rock far enough, he could get caught.
Except that he is that Tucker's so slow. He sees the opportunity, doesn't fire off the punches, which is what happens with old fighters. I mean, you know, you see it, but you can't do it. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson first described that, and it was pathetic to watch.
Well, Ruiz staying busy and making Tucker work.
Another good round.
The bell sounding a little early there, but it was a very, very anemic sounding bell.
Actually, I think that was the bang on the wood. It was 10 seconds. It wasn't a bell.
Okay. Well, she was too close to it. Let's go backstage to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. I'm now joined by Julio Cesar Green. Hector Perez will interpret for us the cloud last time when Green won and all of the controversy. Has that bothered him, and does he want to win convincingly because of that?
¿Qué piensas de la última pelea, la gente y todo, y que hablan de que él ganó? ¿Y qué piensas tú de eso?
Lo que yo pienso que tengo que hacer el mejor trabajo ahora y quitarme la duda de esa cosa.
He just have to do better work, and he's going to take care of business, that's all.
How bad is the blood between him and Joppy? Because they seemingly have not been getting along since that fight very well at all, and there's been some bad blood.
¿Cómo piensas tú y cómo te la llevas con él ahora que toda la gente que está hablando de todo esto, los manejadores y todo, tú sabes cómo?
Allá arriba el trabajo que vamos a hacer y el manejador y el trabajo que nosotros hagamos aquí abajo, eso lo hacen.
Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and go in there. He's going to take care of business. It's between him and Joppy, and that's it.
Best of luck. We look forward to the fight.
Thank you. Dominicana!
Back out to you, Steve.
All right, Jim, from the Dominican Republic by way of Jamaica, Queens, Julio Cesar Green. Round 3, the pace of round 2, a bit more to Tony Tucker's liking.
Well, there's no way they could keep that pace up for 12 rounds and expect to last. The attrition would just kill them. It's too big of men to keep that kind of pace.
Low blow by Ruiz.
Tony kind of pulled the back of his head in, but his corner told me, see, Tony Tucker came out with a much sharper, stiffer jab. That's what his corner said, get behind the jab and move him. But he's got to fire combinations behind that jab, Steve.
Ruiz 31-3 with 22 knockouts. Losses to Sergey Kovacev, Donnell Nicholson, and he was clocked by David Tua early.
I saw the fight with Donnell Nicholson.
Were you on that card?
I was on that card. I thought he beat Donnell Nicholson, as did many people, but you know, the judges, we talked about the fight with Green and Joppy the first fight. The judges make the calls.
And of course, Purdy, you were on the Kovacev card.
Yes, right. Indeed. And all I'm going to tell you right now is Ruiz is still on the same track. He's still beating him to the punch. He's landing combinations where Tucker's only throwing one punch at a time. And the more I look at Tucker, the more sad I feel, because when I remember seeing him as a young kid, I thought, wow, with that body and that talent that he had, if he just has a heart and character, this guy's going to be a big one in boxing. And unfortunately, it didn't work. Whether it was demon alcohol, rum, or circumstances, I don't know, but he didn't live up to his promise.
The last time he looked so good physically, had the washboard stomach, he had the weight down, was back in '93, although he lost to Lennox Lewis.
But he did look good. He got off the floor to put himself well.
Right.
He's fighting a lot smarter, fighting a lot better this round.
Well, he's looking to bounce back here with some shots to the head of Ruiz, but Ruiz has answers himself. Good straight left by Tony Tucker that got Ruiz's attention.
That was the best fighting Tucker has done since this thing started.
Ruiz is punching a lot better, although he's not a big banger. I don't think a slugfest is what he really wants.
We want to see here now if he follows these jabs up, Tucker, with combinations.
Come on, guys, break it up, Then go, Tony.
If he's more aggressive, if he's going forward rather than backward, if he's stepping in or staying away. Well, he's starting to come forward more here in round 3.
He's much taller and he's got a much longer reach. He should be able to out-jab Ruiz silly, but he's not doing it.
Well, you know what, too, though? He's also bigger, he's heavier, he's a little older and slower, so that's going to make up for it in the difference.
13-year age difference.
Ruiz is quicker and has the youth on his side right now.
And the energy, Bobby. He's got that youthful energy. He just feels like he can take this, keep the title, and step into big money.
He's got that spring. He's got that bounce back, something that as we get a little older, the fighters don't want to admit, but it kind of fades on us. We don't bounce back ever so quick.
Yeah, reflexes is what it's called. That's what goes. Sounds like she's hitting the bell, but she's really...
She did it again.
Yeah, maybe that's the style around here. I don't know.
Making a mistake.
Nice round, back of the back. He's up his arm on there. Give me a swab water. Give me a swab, please. Wearing him down real nice, John. Working good, baby, working good. Like you see before, though, don't wait in front of him. All right? Listen, keep your hands up. If you're starting to get hit, you gotta be hitting with stupid fucking punches, you understand? Come on now. Let's go. You gotta throw that hook, Johnny. 1, 2, 3. Stay on this bastard. Move your hands. Punch, baby, punch. All right, baby? You gonna work this round now? Come on. Give me 100% this round. Give me 100% this round. Stay on.
You heard the colorful, animated John Ruiz's trainer, Gabe Murray, very outspoken. He does most of the talking for the quiet man.
And there is no politically correct in the corner.
No.
There's communication in the corners. Communication. You got to talk on the level of the fighter, and they got to understand you.
After 3 rounds, Tucker may be down by about 5 points.
In Bobby's case, it's hard because you got to find college professors that can talk to Bobby, so they can understand him. Bobby talks down to trainers.
I was always fortunate my trainer, Tommy Parks, has more degrees than a thermometer, so I'm okay.
All right, we enter into round number 4. Tony Tucker, 56-6, won no contest, 46 knockouts. Former IBF heavyweight champ, beat Buster Douglas in '87, lost the title to Mike Tyson 63 days later.
Tony Tucker fought a better round in the last round than he had in the first 2, and he started similarly here, but I think that youth, that spring, that energy is just not there for him to keep it up.
Well, that's a good example that last round, because it looks like he was just going to start to take the round over, and then Ruiz came back and took the nice shot by
Tucker just
Ruiz.
walked right into a straight right.
It was a sneaky overhand right that just dipped over the jab of Tucker, and it was very nicely done.
So
beautiful timing shot.
To finish the thought, Bobby, I thought that Ruiz won the last round off his powerful finishes, like he's doing right now.
Ruiz all over Tucker, pummeling him upstairs and down. Coming at him like a battering ram to the midsection.
Well, that's just it, Steve. He's throwing in combination. He hits Tucker, and he doesn't stop. He follows up with 3, 4, 5 more. Steps out, comes back again. Tucker lands 1 or 2, and he doesn't follow it up. He doesn't have the energy, or he just hasn't worked on combination punching.
Tucker's coming forward more than I've seen him in a long time. His corner has got him all steamed up to come forward, but all he's doing is getting beamed as he comes forward.
He has a new corner. It's his father, Robert Tucker.
Oh. See that rock and roll move? Tony Tucker comes in with a slow, lethargic jab, and John Ruiz turns on it and fires the right hand back right over the top. It's a tremendous counterpunch.
Oh, it's a beautiful punch. It looked like an artillery shell coming in slow and exploding right on the jaw. Wow.
Jorge Alonso cautioning Tucker about holding. Under 30 seconds in round 4. Tucker surviving a couple of knockdowns in the opening round.
Let him go now, let him go now, let him go.
Well, if Ruiz is in the kind of shape that he can keep this up for the rest of these rounds, then Tucker's in for a fearful beating.
I figured out what that is. When she hits the hammer, it's obviously the 10-second warning, but it's so close to the bell, it reverberates off the bell, and it's distracting.
Yeah, because it sounds like a...
What's the chief secretary? Tell him. That's my point. I'm through. I'm through. What? I'm through with the holding. That's it.
Ruiz is pushing him backwards. Hey, you got to use that jab. You got to get off first, and you got to start getting him angry. And if you grab him, get off with some punches. But Ruiz can say anything. And you got to connect with your punches. Connect with it. You got to hit him with the punch, not hit him in the middle.
Back it up, man. Come on.
You got to touch it. But you got to jab it. And you got
Let's take a look at Tucker. He gets caught coming in. I think this is the shot where we see that artillery shell explode right on his. Oh boy!
You see a little rock and roll. He just rocked his shoulder back in his head and fires over 30, and it's a pretty shot. Wonderful counterpunch.
Well, and the referee came over during that thing and said, "I'm tired of your holding. That's it. If you keep on holding, I'm going to take a point away." Now that would be merciless because he has no point to take away. It's a deficit spending.
A very adamant Jorge Alonso.
We're very quickly approaching the point of no return for Tony Tucker. He has to show some desperation, do something here.
And Tucker's in trouble. As Ruiz just pounces on him with a combination to the head.
Well, they got to stop this and fix that tape.
Right uppercut to the chin by Ruiz. He's showing his entire repertoire here.
Tape is flying off the glove of Ruiz. They're going to have to stop that or else. That's it. That can flick in your eye and cause major damage.
Well, it gives Tucker a temporary breather.
Yeah, he can recuperate himself to come back and take a bigger beating.
I'm trying to hold him. He's holding him. Come on, give me a snake here.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay, I got you.
Keep an eye out as they continue for Tucker's holding. He's been warned several times by the referee. Let's see if Tucker resorts to those tactics again just to hang in there.
That's a stiff jab to the body. It's a shotgun jab downstairs. I love what Ruiz is doing. You'd be surprised how much over the course of a couple of rounds that will debilitate you and really catch up with the fight.
And just as you say it, there they are again, the combination to the
He
midsection.
never lets up on that jab. I love what I see here. I love what I see here.
Beautiful combinations by John Ruiz, followed up by a right uppercut to the chin. Here's the jab by Ruiz.
I love Ruiz's energy and the fact that he's putting 2 and 3 and 4 punches together. The fact that he's going to the body with a jab. He's throwing a lot.
Gorgeous left hook there by Ruiz.
He's throwing nice combinations, nice counter combinations, and I will tell you, right now,
Now they're taking the point away from Tucker.
And that's the point we talked about. He told him I didn't see, I frankly don't agree with that. I don't see that was that much flagrant holding on the part of Tony Tucker.
He doesn't have enough problems.
1 point less. Oh, well.
You know, we talked about this a lot of times, but technically holding, even a clinch when you're hurt, is illegal.
A very confident John Ruiz just flicking that jab at will, and it is finding a home on the face of Tony Tucker. Oh, way low blow by Tucker.
That was low, baby.
And Jorge Alonso now warning Tucker.
Oh, boy. Trouble is mounting for poor Tucker. Not only did they just take away a point, now it's a low blow.
Well, he's desperate now. He's trying anything.
Well, he's a sinking battleship right now.
Right now, he truly is, Bertie, and I don't think Tony Tucker's ever been dominated quite this badly.
Ruiz continues to unload.
Well, I must give the old Warrior credit. He's standing in front of him. He's throwing more punches than I've seen in many years from Tucker. Even when he was good, he wasn't aggressive, and now he's at least trying hard. I give him that. He's trying hard.
It seems, though, like almost a futile effort by the 39-year-old veteran.
And now the tape on Tucker's left glove is starting to come undone.
A right uppercut by John Ruiz, but I do believe Tucker blocked part of it to soften, cushion the blow. There's that shotgun jab by Ruiz, nearly a low blow at the bell by Tucker.
Relax. What?
You sit in the bucket, Ronaldo.
Got it. Come on, Chef.
You gotta stop punching him. You gotta stop punching him.
All right, let's watch Ruiz's start. 2 jabs, 3 jabs, right hand over and a hook. Well, I mean, and then he doesn't stop. He keeps right on coming. Now, those are combinations which hurt because Tucker, all right, Bobby, go to the other.
And every time he gets inside, he lands clean shots, right hand, left hook. Tucker gets hurt, he holds on, and he will just hold on. Here he's almost choking him, and the referee, getting a little upset, says, you know what, I've had enough of this. There's a point off. I think this is a little premature, but it's a take charge, no nonsense referee. He's doing what he sees is right.
Tony, get that glove.
Heads up.
Get
Come
that
on.
glove tape.
Heads up, Chef.
Let's go, real quick. Get your angle, buddy. Real quick.
Step 2 right there, right here. Let's go now. Let's go.
The irony here is, for the first time in a long while, Tony Tucker, who is still getting taped over there. There's some loose tape on his left hand. Very late in coming back into the action. Tucker showing a desire and determination and motivation, but being outclassed, outskilled.
There's no quitting Tony Tucker. He's coming forward. He's trying to make a fight. He just doesn't have what it takes right now to get back in this thing. Right now, he is past the point, and after 5 rounds, no return.
TNT has been diffused in this fight, getting knocked down twice in round 1 and having 1 point taken away for holding in round 5.
For those of you that are interested in higher mathematics, I have it 50 to 33. That gives you an idea how far away he is. Not to 43, I'm sorry. 43.
Still quite a disparity.
I have it 50 to 42.
Yeah.
First round, I scored 10-7 because of 2 knockdowns.
Yeah, I only made that a 10-8, but because one of the nights wasn't that bad. But on the other hand, it doesn't make any difference, 1 point more or less here.
John Ruiz is rocking from side to side, sometimes going down to his right, firing the right hand, sometimes coming down to the right and firing the left hook. He's mixing it up. He's giving different looks and angles to Tony Tucker, and Tony's not adjusting well.
Ruiz describes himself as a boxer, calling his best punch the jab. He does have very nice tools. You can see his focus. He does have pretty good side-to-side.
Let him go.
Hard body shot just then.
If you watch too right now from the outside, Ruiz is walking Tony Tucker to the right, counterclockwise, as opposed to most orthodox fighters move always to the left. Jab move to left. He was walking to the right and hooking Tony Tucker and doing something that most boxers that are orthodox don't do.
And Tucker's holding.
Oh, boy, now he's really holding. See, now that's holding. He won't let go of that arm.
You're free, Johnny. You're free. You just rest in this.
And Ruiz resting on the body of Tony Tucker. John taking a little break here, trying to refuel. He has gotten tired all of a sudden after all those punches, John Ruiz.
Let's go.
Ruiz debuted at 184, worked his way up to the 220s, and in all 3 of his losses, he tried to step up in competition.
Well, I told you, the Donald Nicholson fight, I thought he won a decision. The Cruel fight was no contest.
What a heavy slugging left hook that was. After a beautiful combination.
John Ruiz got hurt by a right hand. He walked into a right hand, Steve.
A straight right by Tony Tucker, and all of a sudden things have turned dramatically. his career by David Tua. He slides to the canvas. It is not ruled a knockdown. It's ruled a slip.
But I'll tell you what, Hurt had a lot to do with that.
Tony Tucker out of nowhere coming on.
That's what we said. With the heavyweights, only one punch needed. And he landed it, but it wasn't enough.
But can Tucker follow it up in the final 10 seconds of the sixth? He's trying.
Tucker did enough to win that round, Bertie.
Oh, he did that.
It might be a new fight.
Johnny, he's dead tired.
Come on, what are you doing? Dropping your hands like a fucking amateur. You all right? You all right? Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. You all right? You all right? Let's win this fight now. Come on.
Johnny, come on. Johnny,
That's wrong, boss. Please. Like you do with little baby face, man.
Johnny, what the fuck are you doing with this guy?
Breathe now. Breathe. Head him up. Come back.
Put the water down.
Come on. Come on. Come back with us. Come on.
Johnny, that's stupid.
Let's take a look at where he got rocked, and this fight could turn around on this one shot. Look at how low the hands are. Right hand right over that low left.
What I
And
talked
look
about
at his
before,
legs.
Bertie, he can't misjudge that distance. That's a long right hand coming from a big man, and he rolled to the side and didn't get out of the way of it.
See how low he keeps his left hand?
And he got hit with it again there. That's where his legs start to go from under him.
Yeah, from there on out, he was in imminent danger, but there was only 37 seconds left.
Tucker put Ruiz on wobbly legs at the 2:15 mark of round 6 from that big right hand. Here we go, a reinvigorated Tony Tucker beginning round 7.
If Tucker doesn't come forward right here, he loses the opportunity to change the momentum of this fight.
I got him up on.
Well, one of the things that Ruiz has to prove is how he can take a punch and come back. It's good while he was going. He got hit again. Nice right hand.
Still looking very shaky on wobbly legs. He looked fatigued in that last round. He couldn't recover.
He got caught right there again, guys. His left hand is staying way too low.
You all right? You all right? Take your time. You all right?
Ruiz complaining of a low blow there, and he has up to 5 minutes to recover if he wants.
Take your time. I was screaming if I was his corner. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. The more minutes go by, the better it is for Ruiz.
Jorge Alonso continues to be ticked off at Tony Tucker for the illegal action.
And again, he stepped in with a heavy jab, did Ruiz, to open that little stanza, like saying, here, I'm back.
Let's see if Ruiz can get recharged here. There's a nifty uppercut to the chin of Tucker.
You know, moving a big man like that is very tiresome. Ruiz is so far ahead, he might want to not try pressing the issue. Back up, take your time, take your rest, take your breather. He can lose another round. He was ahead by a whole lot of points, 59-52 on my unofficial scorecard, but he knows he's way ahead. Take a break.
Let go of the head.
Well, the other end of that is never let an old dog up. When the guy is tired, keep on him. You're young, he's old. Oh, nice right hand by Ruiz.
Counter right hand's been working all day over the jab, over the slow, lethargic jab of Tony Tucker.
Now Ruiz slowly picking up the pace. In his favor, there's that shotgun jab.
As long as he's dancing in front of him, getting that jab in, and Tucker is just mesmerized looking at it, he is buying time and he's getting himself back into the fight and back into the condition he was. He's no longer in trouble.
Scores at the half unofficially.
After 6, I had a 59-52.
59-53, so we're right there.
John Ruiz in command, but getting wobbled in the 6th round by a straight right hand by Tony Tucker out of nowhere. And now 35 seconds and counting in round 7. And Ruiz obviously being a lot more cautious. There's a straight right hand right on the face of Tucker.
It's the same right hand he's been using time and time again. He's rocking on that jab, and Tony Tucker tried it twice but couldn't because Ruiz's jab is quicker and his right hand is slower.
And Tucker always did have the good chin. Now he got pushed down. He got punched, though, as he was going down by a left hook. There's the 10-second warning, which sounds like a bell. As Ruiz comes right back at Tucker. There's the bell.
And won that round handily, showing no after effects of that thumping that he got in the 6th.
Good job. Good job. Good job. You're right back. Nice work, baby. Now you're back. You're back in the fight now, champ. Good job, baby. Good job. You win every round.
You didn't fucking focus, and that's what happened. You got to focus on this guy. He's the only guy you'll fight. He's the thing between everything and you wanted to be. Focus. Keep your fucking hands up and keep your eyes on this guy. And don't be complaining about the low blows because they're not going to get him. You hear me? Just keep fighting. Please. Fight hard, Johnny.
We love you, champ. All right, let's take a look at that low blow which stopped the action right in its tracks. Keep your eyes on Tucker. Yes, indeed.
That one was way south of the border.
Whoa, way down. And he was right to stop and right to take the time. Bobby, take the slip.
Well, you know, he's coming in here and he's just trying to hold him off, and Tucker starts to slip, and Ruiz hits him while he's on the way down anyway.
I think that's more exhaustion than anything else, Bob.
The
balance shot.
The Newt Rockney speech in Ruiz's corner, courtesy of Norman Stone. As we enter round 8, 5.5 great rounds from John Ruiz until he ran into the solid right from Tony Tucker. Ruiz seeming to get back on track in round 7, re-establishing himself here.
Well, there was the possibility that this fight could have been a sleeper, and I'm happy to say we were disappointed with that.
I was just starting, you read my mind. I was just starting to say, we all walked in here dreading this fight, thinking, oh man, this is going to be a drag. And it's been anything but a drag. Nice action, nice heavyweight action.
Yeah, nice to see a fight break up.
Yeah, and there goes the thing. Once that tape gets wet.
Hey, come on, let's go, guys. Let's do this right.
And the crowd.
Do that right. Come on.
Before the fight started, I thought Ruiz would win by decision, but clearly not in this dominating a fashion.
That's Norm Snow with the mustache.
You got to cut that.
You should let in that part of the glove. You should have as much tape as you want to on it. I mean, you know, you're not going to do anything with that.
You can fight with the laces like that, man.
Okay, buddy. Thanks.
It's going to come off again. Let's go. Time in. Let him go, Tony.
Now Tony Tucker up on the balls of his feet, trying to get a second win, showing a little more movement than usual.
Ruiz still stuffing that body to the jab, not landing it as cleanly now, but still working downstairs, now coming up top.
Beautiful jab.
4 jabs in a row.
That was 4, and all of them landing, and there's the glove again. There's the tape again. Maybe they got to send out for some duct tape.
Or crazy glue.
Crazy glue would do it.
Well, they're going to have to stop again shortly if that tape continues to dangle.
Well, the referee is going to give him a little bit more time this time.
Right. I got it. With holding.
Meanwhile, he gets on Tucker for the holding again. He's already deducted a point for that.
Well, he'd be in trouble if he deducts another one because you're looking at disqualification.
Ruiz just continues to jump all over Tucker. Tucker tries to answer with a straight right, but a glancing blow. There's that beautiful doubling up of the jab by Ruiz.
Tucker has to just take a shot somewhere along the way and just fire a 5 or 6 punch combination. Don't you start whipping him in.
And he follows it up. You got to like the way Ruiz follows it up.
You know what he does too, Steve? When he follows it up, he gets in tight and he smothers all Tucker's punches in reach. Minimizes the leverage.
He's certainly not one and done.
I love the advice they gave in the corner is the best I've heard. Stay focused. Those 2 words. Just stay focused. Don't go to sleep on it. And that's what this kid has done. Ruiz has been up on his game for the last 2 rounds. Excellent fighting by Ruiz.
Tucker coming forward.
That was a nice right uppercut Tony tried to land there. Had a lot of steam on it.
Well, I'd like to see this kid with Lennox Lewis. I'd like to see this kid with more. I'd like to see this kid with a lot of people.
I think his stock is skyrocketing right now. He doesn't make a mistake. Beautiful.
Wow, what a finish.
Johnny Tapia makes his debut on Showtime Championship Boxing on his birthday, Friday, February 13th.
From the first time you step into the ring, they teach you to leave your emotions outside of the ropes. They say emotions get in your way. Johnny Tapia says, yeah, right. Me, I am all emotion. I love every moment that I'm in the ring, and I love to show it. That's why I am looking forward to my next fight. It's on my birthday, and for the first time, it's on Showtime.
Help Johnny Tapia celebrate his birthday. Friday, February 13th at 11, only on Showtime, America's #1 boxing network.
Action in 2 weeks from Albuquerque with Johnny Tapia, and plenty of action here tonight in Tampa. John Ruiz and Tony Tucker.
I love Tapia. He reminds me of those little kids that came out of New Jersey and Detroit and Pittsburgh in the 30s and 40s and 50s. Tough guys that like to fight.
He's overcome a lot of adversity to get to the championship.
As yet.
And we are so pleasantly surprised by the amount of action we're seeing here on Showtime Championship Boxing tonight from these heavyweights.
I'll tell you, it isn't just good action for these heavyweights. This is good action for any heavyweight. Tony Tucker's had a reputation of being lethargic. He came here to fight today. He's just running into a buzzsaw in John Ruiz.
Well, the quiet man, John Ruiz, continues to make some noise as we head into round 9.
Faster, younger, speedier, but one punch can neutralize it, as we just saw it almost happen. Tony Tucker almost rang that golden bell.
Break. Step back, both of you. Come on, okay.
Ooh, nice body shot by Tucker and the left up top. He just ate a tremendous left hook too, Steve.
Back comes Ruiz.
What a left hook. That's like punishment for what you did.
See, a little of this holding on the inside here, too, is Ruiz initiated. Comes in on the inside, puts his hands under there. Some of this is not Tony Tucker's doing.
You know, but once you're looking at it Tony Tucker's way, that's all the referee sees. It starts to look just his way.
There's that straight left jab by John Ruiz. And boy, has he shown us to be a terrific counterpuncher.
Let him go.
Well, Ruiz has got very little to go. 4 rounds.
This is a bad call, gentlemen.
Oh, man. One more point and he finds himself in some kind of trouble.
The crowd echoing its disapproval.
Let go of that hand now.
Yeah, if he has to stop this from disqualifying for, Akawandi was holding. That's holding. That's holding every round. They don't let you fight. That was holding. That was a disgrace. That's what we're seeing here. Holding in a normal fight.
A left hook by John Ruiz, flush on the face of Tucker. And Tucker's going to have one blown up face at the end of this night.
Well, what's for Tucker? Will he hang it up after this? You know, it would be out for this fight. You got to say, hey, that's enough. Tony, go home.
Come on, Johnny, you can get out of there.
Get a life.
Well, we're very happy that he's gotten his life together, coming off the drinking problem.
Not a bad right hand. Tony just threw off the side of Ruiz. A second one, starting to find a place for the right hand.
Yeah, you can't, this is boxing. You got to wait till the 12th round. When the bell rings, then we can talk about who's going to do what to win.
Under 30 seconds, round 9. Ruiz not letting up. And it looks like he's got some more fuel in his tank now after a little bit of a lackluster stretch. He was wobbled by a straight right back in the 6th by Tucker.
But you see, Tucker continues to fight very, very slowly, but he's doing something.
He slips through the ropes. Not a knockdown.
That was on the wet corner, on the wet spot in the corner.
A lot of moisture over there in Tucker's corner.
Well, another round where we put a big 10 for Ruiz and an 8 for Tucker.
Well, for those of you with internet access, be sure to visit ShowtimeOnline.com. When you click on the Championship Boxing link, you'll find stats and information about tonight's card, plus interactive games and previews and reviews of all Showtime Championship Boxing events. That's all on ShowtimeOnline.com.
Left hook, right jab, left hook, right hand. Right uppercut, left hook, right hand. Step to the side, right hand, because you got to get him out of there.
Here. Let the right hand go behind the jab.
All right, let's look at that slip, which is not much to you can't help it. See, it's right across there like if it was like ice, because it's full of water.
Come on, champ, let's go. Let the right hand go behind the jab. Come on, champ. Take him to school. Come on, champ. We got to knock him out. Here you go.
Back it up, baby. Back it up.
Take him to school, he said, Bobby.
John Ruiz's left jab continues to stop Tony Tucker as he comes forward.
See, John Ruiz steps with his jab. He doesn't just use his arm. He steps with his body, his shoulders, and he steps into and through Tony Tucker. And Tony Tucker's just not stepping the same way. When he jabs, it's almost all arm.
A very impressive performance here by a young John Ruiz, just 26 out of Chelsea, Mass. His second title defense, NABF heavyweight champion. He has dominated from the start.
Well, he's got 9 minutes here before he can go to the bank and get himself a loan for a sizable amount of money based on what he's going to get the next time he fights.
Clearly his stock went up. He's shown that he has a lot of what it takes to not only compete but thrive in this division at this level.
His biggest win coming into this bout, a decision over Jimmy Thunder to win the title. Although Thunder claimed he had the flu. And his only knockout loss 19 seconds in against David Tua. His last fight he wanted to show he could overwhelm his opponent, so he came out and smothered Ray Annis in 22 seconds.
No punches. No punches.
We're into round number 10. Ruiz versus Tucker. And you wonder if all things go according to plan for John Ruiz, if Tony Tucker will hang him up after this one, or will he continue?
I'd be willing to bet he gives it one more run.
One more run?
I'm just telling you what I wager.
That's his middle name, one more run.
Old fighters, Freddie, you know as well as I do, they're like old soldiers. They hate to give up with both quits. They're always looking for another war to fight.
And more money.
It's very true, but there's a point at which they got to stop. And you know, I think Boxing Commission's going to have to step in and do something about this. You just can't keep going till a guy's just babbling his name on the street corner.
And just for the record, Ruiz's record 2-2 in bouts that have gone 10 rounds or more. He looks to improve on that mark tonight.
Coming in, I got it.
He has never had a knockout past 6.
In a losing fight, and this is big time losing, 89 to 79. He's looked better than he did winning some other fights and staggering around and looking so dull.
Which is why I reiterate, I believe he'll take another shot at it.
I think you're right, Bobby. I'm just saying I hope he does. I'm just one man's opinion.
Ruiz just walked into a straight right by Tucker, then Ruiz comes back.
He delivered a beautiful right hand. I'll tell you what, I thought he walked into a pretty good right, shook it off, and fired his own.
I wonder what kind of tape they're using in that corner that keeps coming off. I mean,
not sticky tape.
You know, I've fought fights where they actually have used duct tape.
Of course they do. And electrical tape, too.
But Ruiz showing a terrific chin here, aside from everything else.
You can't wait on this guy. You can't wait on him. Yeah. You're waiting too long. You gotta get the shit off and change directions. And you start changing your punches up. Keep changing them up. Jab, left uppercut to the body, right hand.
Jab, a hook, the right hand, okay? Push it back though. Where's the jab? 1, 2, 1, 2. When he comes in, step to your right and let that right hand go, champ.
Okay.
All right? Step a little bit, like you did with Babyface. Step a little bit, let the right hand go. Okay? Like you did with all these guys. Come on, champ. Suck it up, man. Come on.
Jab, try to win this fight any way they can. John, right. Go out there and box. Go out there and box. You hear me? Yep. Go out there and box. You be the boss and the champ. Look at it, dog. I'll set down here. Go out there and box. You hear me?
All right, Johnny.
Come on. Keep sticking, Johnny. Stick.
Give him the 2 magic words. Keep focused.
No let up from that John Ruiz corner. Tony Tucker's father, Robert Tucker, in very low-key fashion on the other side. Round 11, 6 minutes and counting, and retaining John Ruiz's title, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Down he goes with a straight right.
Beautiful lead right hand. Tony walked right into it. He's in trouble, fellas.
Well, now it's exhaustion and he got hurt. Now the referee's got to use some judgment.
Only 17 seconds into round 11. He's got a long way to go.
Long way to go. Referee's got to use his judgment.
You see the clock. And Ruiz trying to finish it here. Beautiful left jab, followed up by the right uppercut. Ruiz just smothering him. A right uppercut to the chin.
Beautiful right uppercut. Tony's in trouble. His legs are not under him. And he's going to get stopped here, fellas.
Anytime now, coach.
Getting ready. remains NABF heavyweight champion.
You know, that's a real good stoppage, even if Tucker could have survived, because he has no chance of winning. He's catching an enormous amount of punishment, and really, that's a good stoppage.
That's a superb stoppage. If he stopped it on the other side of the ring, I wouldn't have argued either. He's been down, he's exhausted, he's taken a big beating. It's the 10th round. He's 39 years old. Enough already. Time to get out. And he did. The referee did a great job. Great job.
And perhaps the bad news, Tony Tucker, who probably perhaps encouraged by the fact that he went 11 rounds here and did show some heart and desire and determination, will continue.
No, that would be a shame. I think it's every once in a while you have to recognize the fact that it's time to call it a day and go gently into that good night. And I think maybe it's Tony's time.
I vote for him to take a walk and hope we can remember him fondly for the champ. Well, the champ he was, for the warrior he was tonight. His last fight, he fought like a warrior.
I think that's a unanimous decision here ringside. It was certainly not a decision in the ring. 57 seconds, round 11. John Ruiz pummeling Tony Tucker.
Well, that knockdown came with a furious punch. Keep your hand on the right hand. There it is. And there it goes. Now, Bobby, take the finish of the fight.
Well, you know what, Freddie, really, that right hand wasn't even that vicious a right hand. It was a great timing shot, and Tony walked right into it. And the end of the fight, Ruiz is just cleaning up on him. He knows Tony's hurt. His legs aren't under him. He's bullying him back, and the uppercut is working beautiful. He is tearing into him with everything he has. Left hand, right hand. He's tired too. Tony's big and awkward, but he's digging, he's landing, he's finding the jaw, enough to stop the fight.
There were 3 knockdowns, 2 in round 1, and then the finisher in round 11. And the end came 57 seconds, round 11, a TKO for John Ruiz as they continue to attend with the end swell to Tony Tucker. Unable to recapture the NABF belt, drops to 56-7. Meanwhile, John Ruiz ups his record to 32-3 with 23 knockouts. They called him an emerging heavyweight. And he is a man we've got to continue to follow. John Ruiz. In case you're wondering, all 3 judges had it. 99-87. Through 10 rounds. Let's get the official time from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the time of 57 seconds in round number 11, the referee in charge, Jorge Alonso, calls a halt to the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, and he is still the NABF heavyweight champion, the quiet man, John Ruiz.
So Johnny Ruiz from Chelsea, Massachusetts, retains his NABF heavyweight championship. A TKO over Tony Tucker, round 11. Don't forget, coming up from Tampa, it's our main event. Green versus Joppy 2, the rematch for the WBA middleweight championship. Green won the first battle in disputed fashion after he knocked Joppy down for the first time in his career. Green was decked twice in round 3, and from the 5th round on, Joppy labored with a bad right hand, fought cautiously the rest of the way, yet clearly outboxed Green, but it was Green who squeezed out the close unanimous decision. Now we check out Julio Cesar Green, making final preparations backstage in his dressing room, posing on his first defense. There's no denying he showed remarkable courage and grit in the original meeting, but was it a hometown decision? Tonight in the rematch, Green looks to silence his critics. Green versus Joppy 2 waiting in the wings. Let's go up to the ring now for post-fight reaction from our first bout. Here's Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Johnny, throughout the entire fight, your corner was hollering, focus, focus. Was it hard for you to keep focused on this fight after you got off to such a good start?
No, not really. I feel like I was being a little lazy, but, I worked through it. And lucky I came out victorious. And, I was ready to go 12 rounds,
When you say lazy, did you get careless there in the 6th round when he tagged you pretty good with that right?
I think I did. I had my hands down, but, I recovered and I kept on fighting,
Did you feel as though you were going to be able to knock him out in the 1st round because you knocked him down twice? We're going to take a look at it right here. Did you feel as though the end of the fight was coming here quickly?
You know, after the first knockdown, in the second, you know, he put up his hand and do nothing but, you know, move around, put his hands up. You know, I couldn't even connect. You know, I mean, all he did was run around.
What
the second knockdown?
What does this prove now? Now, Johnny, you beat a 39-year-old man who everybody basically felt was washed up coming into the fight. He fought a good fight, but what does this prove?
You know, nobody's ever washed up. You never know, you know what I mean? Because he came in great shape, you know what I mean? He came to fight, and I'm glad, you know, one of us had to win. I'm glad it was me.
All right, let's take a look.